Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Today we are going to jump into the first section of our Gloomhaven playthrough. Who I have with me today is Monica.
Hi.
And Timothy.
Hi.
Timothy is one of my buddies that I met actually through board games. He is from Belgium, so if you guys have a hard time understanding him, you're not the only one. I'm just kidding. He's really not that bad, but he does have an awesome accent, so make sure to let him know in the comments how cool it is, because I'm kind of jealous, okay? No. But we did a setup video already, so make sure to check that out if you did not watch it. We also voted to see who you guys wanted to be in this playthrough, and I think the Tinkerer won like 50-2. The Spellweaver got 2. I think the Brute got 1 vote. So we're definitely doing the Tinkerer, so all the pressure's on Timothy. It makes me happy. So because of that, he got all nervous and he decided to update 2 items in his item pool. So let's look at that quick.
So I realized I forgot like a one-hand weapon, and I can have like 2-hand weapons. So I looked through the objects again.
The Tinkerer has 2 hands?
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay.
It's not because I have a crossbow in one hand that I cannot like detach it and put something else. And I also found that amazing doomed compass. It looks really tinkerish, and it makes me able to basically make an enemy move.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Yep, and he can do that because he can have a total of 5 small items. So this is his 5th small item, and then this is for his 2nd hand. Both of them are going to be one-use items, so he'll get to use them one time, and that's it. But just wanted to show you that because we didn't see that in the setup video. All right, let's get started. Isaac was wonderful in that he provided us with a summary of all the different steps within a round right on your player board. So what we're going to start off with to start the round is we're going to do either play 2 cards or a long rest. And what this means is we're going to grab 2 cards, and Timothy's going to show you which one he's going to pick. Of these 2 cards, we have to decide which one we want to lead. If we lead this card, our initiative is 34. What that means is out of all of the other cards that are played, so let's say I led this 17, since my 17 is a lower number than Timothy's 34, I'd get to go first. So Timothy has to decide which card he wants to lead. He also has to potentially decide which part of the card he's going to use, because you can only use the top side of one card and the bottom side of the other. However, what's really cool about this game is although he may have a plan, depending on what happens on the board, things might change, and he can switch which part of the 2 cards he wants to use at the time when his turn is being activated. But it's still good to know what he's thinking, so he'll let you know what he's thinking. We'll play these cards, then you'll see Monica and mine as the Spellweaver and the Brute, and then the 3 enemies, the Cave Bear, the Hound, and the Imp, and then we will activate them all in order. Before Timothy has to decide which cards he's going to play, we can all talk in general terms about what we're going to do. So I'm going to let Timothy know that as the Brute here, I'm going to try and have a very quick initiative. I'm going to throw up some shields so that I can take the brunt of the damage of all of these enemies, and then maybe do 1 attack on this Imp.
So I'm going to start by trying to attack a couple of these creatures out and around. I have a lot of range cards, and a lot of target multiple enemies cards. So I'm going to start by doing that, and I'm also going to put up a shield on myself to prevent some damage because there's a lot of enemies out there right now.
As for me, I chose the 2 first cards here, and so I will go with a 34 initiative. So the thing is, I'm trying to be fast, but not faster than Colin, because if I'm faster than him, I'm going to be the one targeted by the Hound, and I don't want that because I'm a small tinkerer and I need the Brute to tank for me. And so I chose those 2 cards to be fast enough but not too fast. Hopefully it's going to work. So I am going to first attack with this card. It's Reviving Shark. It's the X card. So you have it since the beginning of the game, but I upgraded it with enchantments. So I put it a wound. So it's going to wound them. They're going to lose 1 damage per turn. And I added 1 target, so I can actually use it 3 times on 3 different targets. And then I'm going to move 2 and disarm the Hound. So disarm means that he won't be able to attack. He can do everything else, so move and etc., but he won't be able to attack me at least this turn.
So now we'll reveal all the cards here and see who gets to go first. So the Tinker is 34. Me is the Brute, I'm 17. Monica, the Spellweaver, is 61. Then we've got for the Hounds, 26. Okay, good. So we're going to go before them, or at least I am. The Imps are going to be 43. And the Cave Bear is 13. The Cave Bear is going to be first. Oh, no. It's not what we were expecting. That's the best part about this game. So the order will be Cave Bear, then me, then the Hounds, then the Tinkerer, then the Imps, and followed up by Monica. So the only bear that we have is an elite bear. That elite bear gets to move 5 movement, plus 1 is 6 movement in total. Then he'll attack for 7. Yes, that is a 7. 7 points of damage. Oh yeah, this is level 7, you guys. It's going to hurt. But the attack is a -1, so it's only going to be a 6. In this game, allies can move through each other. So that means all enemies can move through other enemies, and all of our heroes here can move through other heroes. So this bear looks to see where the closest hero is. It's tied between me and Timothy. But my initiative was 17, and Timothy's initiative was 34. So the bear's going to target me. How the bear's going to get next to me is he's going to take 3 steps to come here, and then he's going to attack. He's attacking me at a 6, and we'll reveal the top card of his response deck. That's a +1, so they hit me for 7 damage. So 7 points of damage would put me from 26 all the way down to 19. But I have Plate Mail. This one, on the next 5 sources of damage from attacks, gain shield 1. So I have gained shield 1, so that makes it only 6 points of damage. Then I'm going to exhaust my tower shield here that is going to provide me with 2 additional shields. So that's a total of 3 shield. So that means I only get hit by 4. So I'm going to go down to 22. Now, if you have the 2nd edition, you'll have these really nice little trackers, way better than this. But this still works. You guys can see how the health is working and everything. I almost forgot the Cave Bear also wounds me. That means when it's my turn, at the beginning of my turn, I take 1 point of not unblockable damage. And it just so happens it's my turn next, so I'm going to get hit, go down to 21. But now it's time to do something to that bear. Okay, although I'm pissed at the bear, that imp looks too tasty with only 6 health and 2 shields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the attack 4 here and put a shield 1. And then on the bottom here, I don't have to move, so I'm going to move 0, plus I can't. I'm kind of boxed in. And I'm going to put up another shield. So now I've got 2 shields from these cards, and now those shields will last. This icon means they'll last for the rest of the round, but I get to do an attack of 4 on that imp. So what we'll do is we'll grab my response deck, and we'll flip the first one. Come on, be nice, be nice. Oh, that is a push. So I can also push the imp 1. And do you see this icon here? That means you keep on drawing. So I've got a push and a +2. Yeah, so that's 6 damage. 6 minus the 2 shield that the imp has, that's going to be 4 points of damage. This imp is number 4. So what we'll do is we'll place 4 damage on number 4 here. And because I pushed her, we'll push her on the board as well. So we don't really want to push her, but based on how we understand the rules, I have to push her if I get that response card. Why we don't want to push her is now this opens up this space for this hound to come in here and attack me. But we're hoping Timothy might be able to take out this imp anyways, and so if he takes that imp out, it wouldn't really matter. But still, it's almost a bummer. I mean, it would be so great if we were way over here and I could have pushed them into this trap, but c'est la vie. So the last thing I'll do is I'll take my 2 cards that I played and I'll put them in my discard pile. The next to go, of course, is the Hound, which is a bummer. So the Hound has 5 movement, attacks for 3, and has a retaliate 2. What that retaliate means is that if the Hound gets attacked by an adjacent enemy, they will attack that enemy back for 2 automatic damage. That's not even blocked by shields because you're up too close to that Hound. Now we have a move +0 and attack +0, so it does not affect the movement or attack here. And something I didn't show you guys with the bear, but I can show you here. You see how this range icon is blank? That means they have to be at a melee range to be able to attack. So that means adjacent to one of our heroes. So there are 2 hounds on the board. What we have to do is we look at their numbers and they get activated by initiative numbers. This one is number 3 and that one is number 6. So number 3 is going to act first. So their movement was 5. 1, 2, 3 comes in right here, and then he will attack for 3 damage, plus or minus, yes, -1 is 2, so that's -2 damage. I've got 2 shield, doesn't even touch me. Now, this hound would look to attack me because I am closer, but he can't get to me. So then he looks over here and he sees, oh, there's an open space next to the tinker. Oh. So he's going to take 2 steps over here and he's going to attack Timothy. And he's going to get a -1. Yes. Awesome. So he only does 2 points of damage to Timothy.
So that hound got to me somehow. Dang it. But I have a really cool steam armor, so I can absorb 1 damage, and actually I F2 on the next 5 sources of damage. I F2 shield for 1, and so I will take 1 damage. It's not a big deal. It's just a little dog.
19 health, 20 health. You're laughing at that dog's face right now.
This is a puppy. Okay, so it's my turn. I really wanted to disarm that hound, but now I cannot. So I think I'm going to disarm that bear because he hits for 7. So if I can disarm him, so now he already moved and he already attacked. So the disarm effect will take place next turn. So he won't hit Colin again for 7 deadly damages.
Thank you, Timothy.
No problem. And after, I am going to use that reviving shock. And so the 3 targets I was thinking of targeting are the hound, the number 3 hound, the imp, and the other imp. And that's because when you target range, you don't want to target people that are melee to you, because otherwise you draw 2 cards and you pick the worst of the 2 cards.
Yeah, but it's called disadvantage.
It's called disadvantage, exactly.
So the first thing Timothy's going to do is he's going to place this disarm token on the cave bear. So nice.
Now I'm going to attack those 3 targets at the same time, so I'm going to draw only 1 response card. Let's hope it's a good one.
Come on.
Plus 2!
Wow! Yeah! Okay.
All right, so you can see we're really excited about that attack. So 4 points of damage for everyone. So the hound number 3 is damaged for 4 damages, doesn't have a shield, and burned 2.
Awesome. And we call it a wound. Timothy always calls it a burn, but it's a wound.
I imagine them being on fire. And so for him, the number 4 is going to be only damaged for 2, but it's enough to take her out.
See ya.
Sayonara, sucker.
Whenever an enemy is killed, what happens is they will place a coin or drop a coin in their location where they were killed. And then if you end your turn on that spot, you get to pick up that coin. Now, once again, because we're at level 9, we don't really care about coins, but that's just something for you to remember on your own playthroughs.
And finally, the imp number 5 is going to receive 2 damages as well, and a wound. So despite the shield, she's going to receive 1 damage a round.
Which is perfect because it's going to be their turn next, and that's going to be the first thing that we can do is give her another wound, and she's almost gone. So the imps are going to go next. They're going to be a little bit different than our other enemies because they can attack at range. They also curse, and what curses mean is that they will place one of these curse cards into our response decks. This is an airball. It's a miss for an attack. So if these get placed into your deck and you draw them when you're doing a response to one of your attacks, you do no damage. So these stink. We start by activating the Elite Forest Imp, and that would be this one right here. Now, their range is 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that means this Elite Imp can attack both of us. And that's because their card has a target 2 icon right there. So that means they get to target both of us. But we'll only draw 1 response card and it'll affect both of us. But you see this? We're also going to get poisoned, which stinks. Poison means that on any of our attacks that we receive going forward, it does 1 additional point of damage. So, that's not good. At least this attack, though, is a -1. So right now, this imp is doing 4 points of damage to both Timothy and I. And let's see. Oh, good. It's a -1. So that's only 3 points of damage. And then I've got 2 shields, so I'm actually only going to take 1 hit. Timothy here is going to take 3 hits. So I had the 2 inherent shields from my card. I also take 1 point of damage, but that is blocked by this plate mail. However, what's not blocked is the poison. Ugh. So now, not only am I wounded, but I'm poisoned. Man, that's terrible. Timothy here is going to be able to block 1 of the 3 points that's going towards him. So he'll take 2 points of damage if I can get this off. There we go. So he's down to 17, but he's also going to be poisoned. And then we both have to shuffle in 1 of these cards into our deck for misses. Ugh. So you guys, I totally forgot that we already were at a -1, so that should have only been 3 points instead of 4 points of damage. So I didn't have to use my armor, and the Tinker only took 1 point of damage, so he'll be at 18. Okay, now we're going to do the second, the second imp. Same thing, going to attack both of us. Looking at what we're going to get at our response, it's a +1. So the normal attack is 3, -1 is 2, adding +1 puts us back at 3, so that's 3 points of damage. So at 3 points, Timothy will block 1 with his steam armor, and he'll go down to 2 to the 16. And then he's poisoned again, but you can't be poisoned twice, so we'll just leave it there. But we can't forget that he's poisoned to begin with. So guess what? That does 1 additional point of damage. Man, Timothy had to remind me of that, and I'm kind of sad about it. So now I take 3 points of damage. I block 1 here. I take 2 points here, +1 for the poison. So I'm down to 18. Look at this, you guys. In 1 round, I've gone from 26 to 18 health, and I'm poisoned and wounded. Oh! Now, if you look at this card, you see that this has this refresh icon here. That means instead of this going into the Imp's discard pile, we'll just shuffle this back into the Imp deck, and it could come out next round again. I do not like this poison or this target too. This is not a good card. And I don't want to forget 2 more curse cards into our deck. Ugh, 1 for Timothy, 1 for me.
So the reason I've been hiding out here in this corner is because unlike the other two, I only have a total of 14 points of health. So if I had taken all the damage the Brute's already taken, I'd almost be dead probably. So I'm going to attack from ranged, and then I'm going to put up a shield so that I can actually move. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack from range here. And this lets me attack for 3 points of damage at a range of 3, and I can target 3 enemies. I also get experience from attacking, but we're not going to worry about the experience because we're already at level 9. And then the last thing that this does is it puts up the fire element for me, which I'm hoping to use the next round, unless the scenario totally changes and I change my mind. But so that's what this card is doing. Also, because this card is strong and it has this X here, I lose this card. And this is kind of one of the harder parts about the spellcasters. I start with 8 cards and I lose them quickly. But I do have 1 card that lets me bring my entire hand back. So we'll see that as we get along. So I did the attack up here, and I'm going to use the bottom half of this card, and I'm going to use it for the shield. So it says on the next 3 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, suffer no damage and instead gain retaliate of 3 at a range of 3. So even if they're attacking me at range, I can retaliate against them. So I'm going to place my token here, and every time I use this, I would also gain an experience point. Again, we're not really keeping track of them, but that's what those symbols mean. So now we go to the attack. I wish I could attack this elite imp, but he's a little too far away. I only have a range of 3, but I can attack this one. So I'm going to attack this imp here, hound, and the other hound. So here we go. My attack starts at a 3, and then I flip +0. So I deal 3 points of damage to each. So first we're attacking the imp, and I'm attacking for 3, but he has a shield of 2, so I deal 1 point of damage. That puts 4 damage on the imp, and he's got a health of 6 overall, so we gotta hit him 2 more times, unfortunately.
Just once more, though, because he's at least wounded, so he'll take 1 point of damage at the beginning of his turn.
Next, I hit the hound, and he's number 3 for 3 points of damage. So this hound currently has 7 points of damage on him. And then lastly, I attacked hound number 6 for 3 points of damage.
Now what's awesome about Monica doing that is they have this retaliate, but she's not adjacent to any of them. So they don't get to retaliate to her. So that's why it was great that she could attack them, not us. Because if I had attacked this hound, I would have taken 2 points of damage.
So lastly, I make sure that I move the fire element up. Okay, and so it's strong for this round. It'll go down to waning at the end of the round, and it'll go back down to inert. So if I want to use it, I have to use it sometime next turn.
And here's the thing. We're just going to put it right to waning because Monica is the last one to go. And so since she's the last one, we'll move it right to waning.
And then the other thing I wanted to note is that this card, although it's a discard, I'll leave it out until I use up those 3 sources of damage. So it's just the next 3 sources of damage dealt to me.
That is the end of turn 1. So now what we'll do is we'll start out with turn 2, and we'll start off with picking out our 2 cards each and going from there. For this round, since this cave bear is so nicely disarmed, I'm going to ignore him, focus on this hound to try and take him out, and put up another shield, and still try and go somewhat quickly, so hopefully any ranged enemies will attack me, not Timothy or Monica.
So I'm going to try and go really early. I set myself up last time to use the fire icon on the card that I'm going to play this time. So I'm actually going to attack the entire room this round. I'm okay going pretty early on in the initiative and letting enemies attack me because I set myself up last time with a shield such that all of the first 3 attacks against me this round will be absorbed by my shield.
As for me, I am going to try to first heal Colin of his poison and his wound, and then I'm going to try to attack for free the hound number 3. So I'm taking a bit of a risk because if you remember, that hound number 6 is on me right now. But that's okay. I can tank a bit.
We like to call this the moment of truth. We get to find out if what our plan is going to work. Monica's at a 19. That's really fast. Wow, Timothy's at a 17. Okay, remember how I said I wanted to go quickly? Yeah, I'm slow. 29. Okay, the cave bear is at 60. No, it doesn't even matter. He's not even going to be able to attack. The hounds are at 83, nice and slow, but their attack is +1, and the imps are 42. So this means we're all going to go first before the enemies go. So it'll be Timothy, Monica, me, then we've got the imps, the cave bear, and then the hound.
So here I start. I am going to first move and heal. I don't have to move, and I cannot move. And so I'm just going to heal for 1 all adjacent allies. So Monica doesn't need it, but Colin gets his poison and removed. And the wound too. And afterwards, I'm going to attack for free that hound number 3. So let's see how much I'm going to do to that hound. +1, not bad. So it's going to be for 4. Hound number 3 is going to be at 11 health.
11 damage.
11 damage, sorry. So 4 damages left. Hopefully, Monica is going to take that hound out.
And if not, the brute can.
Of course.
Oh, we don't need the brute.
Hey, we need the brute. What are you talking about?
And as a last move, I thought of using the Doomed Compass. That permits me to force an enemy at range 5 to perform a move 2 with you controlling the action. And so I can get rid of that annoying elite imp and she will go on a trap. So the trap is going to do to her 9 damages, wound her, and immobilize her, which means she's not going to attack us. So in the process, I lost my item, of course, and imp elite number 6 got 9 damages because that's how much that trap is doing at the last level. And something that's really important, the trap damages go right through the shield number 2.
So the reason I used my card last time to put this fire up is because I want to use it for an extra attack on this entire room. So this card's pretty cool. It says attack 3 and target all enemies in the same room as you. So
an Inferno!
So I get to attack all 5 enemies standing here. And the fire that I'm going to use allows me to do an additional attack and gets me experience. But the downside is I also attack my allies in the same room. They suffer 2 damage each.
Hey, you didn't tell us that. That hurts.
I did tell you that.
She's dangerous.
Seriously.
Watch out for this guy. He cuts out the important stuff.
Hey.
Okay, so with the use of the fire, we can go attack the enemies. I'm currently attacking for 4. Hopefully we can flip something good. Ooh, so I got a +1, so I attack for 5, and I also immobilize the entire room.
Except for your allies, fortunately.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, instead you just burn us for 2 damage. Thanks for that.
It was worth it. Starting with the Elite Imp number 6, he takes 5 points of damage, which takes him out.
See ya.
Next, non-Elite Imp number 5, regular Imp. He also gets 5 points of damage, goes through his shield.
See ya.
Then we'll do the Hounds next. So Hound number 3 gets 5 points of damage.
See ya.
And finally, Hound number 6 also gets 5 points of damage.
Ow.
So he's at a total of 8.
Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8. And he also gets immobilized.
Sweet.
And then lastly, the elite bear, gets 5 points of damage.
What's great is no more imps, so no more cursing. Thank you, Monica. But don't forget now, we all have to take 2 points of damage thanks to her.
Except for me.
Except for you, because you know how to dodge in Inferno. Apparently we don't.
I create the Inferno.
So both Timothy and I take 2 points of damage. I have to block one with my plate mail. So does Timothy with his steam mail. But Timothy is poisoned, so he'll still take 2 points of damage. I'll just take 1. So I'm at 17 and he is at 13.
So I have jump on my movement. It's a movement of 4. So I could, if I want, move right over this rock. I wouldn't need to in this case, but I have a movement of 4. So 1, 2, 3, I might as well pick up a coin.
Woohoo! See, if you guys listen to the podcast, the range enemies always get all the coins. Or ranged heroes, I should say. So, of course, Monica can pick up the coins while I take all the damage.
I just took 3 enemies out for you.
Touche lemonade. Now it's my turn, and just like normal, I plan one thing and I'm totally going to do something different. So before I was planning on using these 2 parts of the cards, but thanks to Monica for taking out that hound, I'm instead going to use this attack 3 push 2 on the bear, and then do an attack 3 range 3 on the hound, because I'm not adjacent to the hound, and so then I don't have that retaliation issue. So this one for the bear, this one for the hound, both attacking an attack 3. So the first attack we're going to do on the bear at a 3 plus or minus, stunned. That's awesome, except for the fact that she's already disarmed, so it's not going to matter. And a plus 0, so we're just going to do 3 points of damage to the bear. And that's the first 3 points done to the bear at all. Then we're going to push him. We'll push him to here. Then we'll do a ranged attack for this hound. And we'll flip this over times 2. That's 6 points of damage. Oh my gosh, that's 1 point from killing him. Because I think he had, 8 or 7 damage on him? Well, let's take a look. I totally forgot Monica did 5 points of damage already to the bear, so the bear's going to take 3 more points. Unfortunately, I stunned the bear when he was already disarmed. So when it's the bear's turn, he's going to discard both of those effects on him, which is a bummer. Too bad I didn't do that next round. And then 6 damage to the hound is amazing, except for the fact that puts him at 14. He needs 1 more hit to be gone, and he's not. So that means he's still going to activate. And that's who's next, because the cave bear technically would be next, but he's stunned and disarmed, so that means they just skip their next turn. So now we move to the hound, and here's the thing. The hound attacks at a plus 1. So that hound's going to be hitting for 4 damage. And you know who he's attacking? Timothy. So the hound's hitting at 4 plus or minus, plus 1. So this hound is hitting the Tinker for 5 damage. This is where the Tinker says, "Brute, you're not doing your job."
Yep.
5 points of damage. Use the last steam armor, so the steam armor is gone. So it's down to 4 points, but poison back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 health for this Tinker. Yeah, the Tinker isn't a tank, and yet we're using him as that. Okay, I know I gotta do better on my job. That's my plan next round. That finishes round 2. We're now going to start round 3. And if you guys look here, we have cleaned up shop. And thanks to Timothy, we can get through this area, which is really nice. We were trying to figure out how we were not going to have to activate one of these traps to get over this. So this now gives us a nice opening. And we killed an elite imp that way. So awesome. All right, let's go to the next round.